Next, I want to talk about an issue that has been talked about for years. But this session, like the last one and many before it, the General Assembly did not get the job done despite broad support from the public. I'm talking about access to medical cannabis. Over the past several years, I have been not only talking about, but strongly supporting this issue. And it is strongly supported by the vast majority of Kentuckians. Its time has come, and it can give some ailing Kentuckians relief. For those suffering from Alzheimer's, ALS, cancer, severe and chronic pain, epilepsy and seizures, PTSD, and many other conditions. Those are conditions in many other states where they can work with a healthcare provider to gain access to medical cannabis to help treat their symptoms if it's right for them. Medical cannabis is a popular treatment, often referred to as an alternative to highly addictive opioids that are still prescribed far too often to deal with individuals' pain. In fact, as of February 2022, a total of 37 states, as well as DC, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands regulate cannabis for medical use by qualified individuals. If you look, the majority of the Midwestern states have some type of regulated cannabis program. Those include Illinois, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, North Dakota, Ohio, South Dakota, and Wisconsin. When you look at southern states like Alabama, Florida, and Mississippi, they're allowing treatment for their residents. Yeah, we are actually behind Mississippi this time. We can't make that joke. Mississippi was actually the latest state to permit the use, and their state legislature had the courage that ours did not to do so this February. And our neighboring states of Virginia and West Virginia also have access to regulated cannabis. It has passed the House the last several years. Yet, this year in the Senate, it died. It never even got a vote in committee. So, people are ready. And given where we are, and with so many supporting moving forward on cannabis, including many in our House of Representatives, today I'm announcing 4 steps that set out a process we're going to be engaged in over the next several months. Most of these steps are about hearing from you, the public, so that your voice is heard by the executive branch, even if it's ignored by the legislative branch. By now, people of Kentucky know that I take a series of steps as we move forward and gather information and work to build consensus before culminating ultimately in action. So over the next several months, here are 4 steps that we're taking. First, as I've alluded to before, I've asked my general counsel and his team to begin analyzing options that we may have under the law for executive action on medical cannabis. That's going to be some in-depth research and analysis that is going to provide, at least to me, a framework of potential options. Second, I'm establishing the Governor's Medical Cannabis Advisory Team, and we'll be putting out what we're looking for in membership of that. We want to make sure that, and I want to make sure that I'm getting advice from all corners of Kentucky and that we can hear directly people's stories, people's experience, the need that is out there. And as we look at potential executive action, that we are ensuring that we have the information to do it effectively. Third, once the advisory team has been formed, they're going to want to hear from you. We're going to have them travel around the state and listen in every corner of Kentucky for what you have to say about medical cannabis. We'll be determining a schedule once the group is comprised, but initially we aim at making at least 4 stops. And folks, it is important for the public to be able to not only weigh in, but show this entire state how strongly the public supports taking a step in this direction. And finally, we've established a way for every Kentuckian to communicate with my office specifically on this topic. If you are a Kentuckian, you deserve to have your voice heard and amplified. if you feel that you want to weigh in on medical cannabis, but don't know that if you'll be able to make a meeting, or want to go ahead and provide your thoughts on the why, or what conditions, or things that you've been going through, or things you'd like to see, you can see the email that we have set up. You can send it to our team directly at GOV Medical Cannabis Advisory Team at ky.gov. These are 4 steps in a process about moving forward to make sure that the people of Kentucky are included, that your voice is heard, and that we can take your desires, your advice, your thoughts as we consider the legal frameworks for executive action. So for all those who have advocated over the years, from our veterans who are suffering from chronic pain or PTSD, to mothers who are seeking help for children suffering from seizures, I want you to know that we not only hear you, we want to hear directly from you. The time has certainly come, and today, again, we're setting up a framework and a process for moving forward that we're putting in place so that we can understand where everybody is coming from, where we can ensure that nothing is overlooked in our analysis, and we want your feedback. I want to be clear. I am for medical cannabis. I want it done in the right way. And we're going to be looking at our legal options very closely, and at the same time, we want to hear from you. I know the Kentucky public overwhelmingly supports this, but I don't want to take for granted that the reason that you do is one that we fully know, and certainly it's something that we need to hear. In every action I've taken, I've always wanted to be effective, to get a job done, and to make sure that we have what we need. I want to make sure we hear from you in these multiple ways.